Okay, so let's continue our discussion. Okay, so I'm just testing this one. Okay na ba ko ang stylus? Okay, so remember kanina we have discussed about the um, what do you call this one? The variables. We have the um, two types of variable declaration. We have the local and we have the global variable declaration. Okay, so regarding also the arithmetic operation, so we have different types of operators. We have the um, assignment operators, and then we have also arithmetic operators. We have logical operators, and then we have also the relational operators. So usually relational operators are operators that are being used especially in conditional statements. Okay, so again, if you're going to encounter this kind of say for example, if I'm going to have x is equal to, let us say, a. Okay, this statement is different when I say x is equal to a. Okay, so this particular part here, this one is what we call assignment. Okay, assignment yan. Meaning that the value of your a is being assigned to your x. Well, this one refers to equality. Okay, equality. That means that you're trying to compare the value of your um, x and a. So say for example, your x is equals to 5 and your a is equals to 10. Okay? So when you say x equals to a, that means that the value of your 10, okay? I mean the value of your a, which is equivalent to 10, will be assigned to your x. So what will happen to your x now? So this will be removed. Okay? Rather, x will no longer be equal to 5, but x now will be equal to 10. Okay? That's the meaning of it. Now, if you're going to say x equals to or equal to a, that means that you're trying to compare. Okay? You're trying to what? Compare. So, if x is equal to a, okay? So, that means that 5 is equal to 10. So this is answerable with what? Yes or a no. Are they equal? Of course, that will be no. But if the value of your a is 5, therefore, if 5 equal to 5, of course the answer is yes. Okay, that's the difference between the two. Now, another, what do you call this one? Arithmetic operator, no, that I am going to emphasize is the use of the modulus and the increment and the decrement. Okay, so take note that if you're going to make use of the modulus, as I've said um, earlier, no, that say for example you have 5, okay, modulus of 2, okay, this is a modulus division. That means that the result here will be the what? Remainder. Okay? When we say 5 modulus of 2, the result is 1. Why? Because 1 is the remainder. So what you're going to do with modulus, first you're going to divide 5 by 2. This will be 2. That will be 4. And that is 1. So 1 now is the remainder. So this is now the result. So therefore, when you say 5 modulus of 2, the result is 1. So that is now the modulus. Now, another thing is the increment and decrement. So when you say minus, that is what we call what? Decrement. Okay, decrement na siya. So meaning, this will only what? Decrease. Okay? Decrease one number at a time. So, when we say x minus minus, that means it will decrement the value of your x by only 1. Okay, kaisa lang. Say for example, if x is equals to, let us say, 10, and you said x minus minus, So meaning, your x now is equals to 10 minus 1. So the result is 9. So therefore, mag-minus-minus man ka siya, mag-minus-minus man ka, so x minus minus, so 9 minus 1 is equals to 8. X now will be, you have 8 minus 1 is equals to 7. X now will be, 7 minus 1 is equals to 6. X now will be, 6 minus 1 is equals to 5. So on and so forth. So, meaning, if we're going to look at the decrement here, the decrement is always 1. Okay? Tag-isa-isa lang iyang i-decrement if you're going to use x minus minus. Now, what if dili day 1 akong i-decrease? Let us say, for example, 3 akong i-decrease by 3. So, pwede gyapon, no? Pwede gyapon siya. So, what you're going to do is, you're going to emphasize if pila ang imuhang deduction. Okay? So, what will happen here is, you have, okay, usually, you have x minus 3. So, this will identify kung pila ang imuhang i-decrement. Say, for example, if 5, so, you're going to write also here, x minus 5. Say, kung 7, x minus 7. If you are going to say x minus 8, that will decrement 8 numbers at a time. So, say for example, if you're going to use x minus 10, then we're going to use x is equals to 10. So, what will happen here, if x equals to 10, and then you're using x minus 3, so therefore, x equals to 10 minus 3, that will be 7. Then x equals to 7 minus 3, that will be 4. X therefore is 4 minus 3 is equals to 1. Okay? So it will decrease how many? By 3s. Because this is the kind of decrement that you are using. The same thing, okay? Say for example, if you are going to use the increment. Okay, increment. So for increment, okay, let me just erase this one. For increment, what we're going to do is we're going to increment the value either by 1, by 2, or whatever values that we have. So, for increment, if you are going to use what? Plus, plus, this will only increase, no? Increase the value by 1 point. Tag 1 lang. So, say for example, x plus plus, and if x equals to 10, therefore x will be 10 plus 1, 11. X equals to 11 plus 1, that is 12. X equals to 12 plus 1, that is 13. And x equals to 13 plus 1, that is 14. So on and so forth. So meaning, the increase will only be by 1. Okay? By 1 lang siya. Again, if you wanted to increase the value by any number you want, so you just type like this. X plus 5, that will increase the value by 5. So, say for example, if x equals to 10 and x equals to 10 plus 5, that is 15. So, x equals to 15 plus 5, and that is equals to 20. So, x equals to 20 plus 5, that is equals to 25. Okay? So, take note that the increment will be by 5. Depending on what value you're going to put here, no? Kung x plus 3 or x plus 4, so 4 po the increment niya. Kung 3 po the increment niya. Okay? So that is how we are going to use the increment and the decrement. Okay? Now, the last one is the logical operator. Okay? So ganina I mentioned already the about the logical operator. So, there are 3 different types of operator. Okay? When it comes to relational operator class, let's say the greater than, less than, or equal to, usually, these kind of operators are used in conditional statements. Okay? And for logical operator, okay, so there are 3 different types of logical operator. Okay? So again, ganina what we mentioned is the and, okay, with the ampersand symbol. Okay, we have number 2, we have the or with the symbol, and then number 3 we have the not okay, which is this symbol, okay, the apostrophe. Okay, so again, what is the concept of this one? Okay, this is also being used to um tawag ani when you're going to compute when you're going to use this also in decisional, okay, decision making. So now what's the concept behind this logical operator? Okay, how are you going to make a decision when it comes to using the logical operator? So this is the concept. So using of the truth table, okay, the truth table, okay, truth table ni siya. Okay, erase na ko Okay, truth table for AND gates. Okay, truth table. So it is important for you to know the different truth tables, no? For example, for AND gate, okay, or for AND rather. So it has two input. Okay, you're going to consider two inputs, and of course, it has only one output. So this is input 1. Okay, input 1. And then you have also this table now, input 2. And then this is now the result. Okay, result. So usually the inputs logically it is based on ones or zeros. Okay, ones or zeros lang siya, but in our case, no, sa programming, we input this as yes or no. Okay, ones, that means yes, and then zero, that means no, or it could be true or false, no. Usually we are using true or false. So true if one, zero if false. Okay, so say for example you're using the true and false. So if the first input is true, okay, because moment ng gamiton jud, no, true or false. If the first input is true and the second input is, let us say, false, therefore the result is what? False. Okay, if the first input is for example false, and the second input is true, therefore the result is false. If the first input is false and the second input is false, therefore the result is false. If the first input is true, the second input is true, then the result is true. Okay, so that is now the truth table of AND gate. So what is this true and false? Say for example, ganina as we mentioned, especially in comparison, okay, or it could be using the relational operator. Say for example, 5 is greater than 10. Okay, is 5 greater than 10? So this is answerable with false or true. So the question is 5 greater than 10. Obviously 5 is lower than 10. So therefore the result is false. Okay? So muna akong inapasabot nga true and false. Or say for example, 10 is equal to, let us say 20. Is 10 equal to 20? So this is true or false? Obviously that is false. Say for example, 10 is equal to 10. Is it true or false? So the result is true. So kani nga mga result muna akong ginapasabot, okay? So therefore, if say for example there are two values here, 10 is equal to 20, 10 is equal to 10. So the result is false and the other result is true. So if true and false, what will happen? False and true using AND. Okay? So the result is false, this one, and this one is true. The result is false. So ang result niya is false. Okay? So for example, okay, tagaan mo example lang. Ang A, ang 10 for example, A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20, and then C is equals to 10 for example, nga na. So in this case, what will happen? Mo ako, A is equal to B. Okay? And you have A is equals to C. Okay? Nga na siya. Kani siya example mo niya. So 10 is equals to 20. This is what? False. And then A is equals to C, which is, ano siya? 10 is equals to 10. This is true. Okay? So true and false, the result is what? False. Using what? Kani, no? AND gate. or this one, the and symbol. Okay, that is why it is important for you to know this one, ang truth table, so that you'll be able to identify whether your result is true or false, whether the input is true and the output is true or false, no? So take note, A and B, ay A is equals to B and A is equals to C. These are inputs mo. Muna mong input kini, no? Kini siyang input. 1, 2 inputs. Okay? So that is for the AND gate. Now, let's proceed with the OR gate. Or rather, no? Actually, you use this in logic as OR gate. Okay? For OR, okay, we'll just erase this one because they have the same table. Okay? Okay. Now, take note also of the result, the AND gate. Diba? Ang result sa AND gate kanina, if you notice, no, if one of the inputs here is false, automatically the result is false. If one of the input here if the two inputs are true, therefore the result is true. So meaning that the result will only be true if the two inputs are true. That is in the case of OR. I mean, in the case of AND. Okay? Now, for OR, okay, OR. So, simple lang ang OR, no? Meaning either. Okay? Now, if the first input is true and the second input is false, the result is true. If the first input is false, the second input is true, the result is true. If two inputs are true, the result is true. If both inputs are false, the result is false. So if you notice, no, that it will only be what? False if the two inputs are false. So kabaligtaran pud siya sa AND. Okay? Take note here sa AND, sa OR, if one of the inputs here, sa isa lang ka-input ang true, automatic true ang iyang result. Now, how are we going to apply this one in programming? Okay? Say for example, again, ganina A is equals to, let us say, 5, no? Then B is equals to, let's say for example, 10, and C is equals to 15. Okay? Say for example, that one. So, say for example, I will say A is less than, let us say, C. Okay? And then you have OR. You have B is equals to C. Okay, example. That will be the expression. This one expression. Again, there will be two input. This is the first input. Okay? And this is the second input. Okay? And this is now your logical operator, which is your OR. Now, here you have, what is the value of your A? That is 5. 5 less than 15. Okay? This one is B. So 10 is equal to 15. Okay. Now this one is 5 less than 15. This is what? True. Is 10 equal to 15? This is what? False. So therefore, if that will be true or false, okay, true, this one, true or false, so the result is true. Okay? So that is now the result. So that is how you're going to do the OR gates. OR symbol. Now, the last one is the what? The NOT. Okay? For the NOT, there is only one input and one output for the NOT. Okay? One input and one output for the NOT. Okay, let's have this one. So, for the NOT, okay, we have, okay, NOT. We call this one a logic as inverter. Okay? So, input, wala na siya, input, tsaka output. Okay? Output. So, therefore, since duha lang man siya, so duha ra pod imong kailangan dire. If the first input is true, invert lang niya na, okay, i-false niya na. If the input is false, ilan nang i-reverse mo niyang true. Okay? That's the concept of NOT. Breakthrough na niya. Okay? So, say for example, A NOT, okay? Okay, that means that the value of, no, wait lang. To erase this one. Say for example, no, A, wait lang. Okay, so A is equals to 10, B is equals to 5. Okay, for example like this. So, If A is, say for example, greater than B, this is the expression, okay? Then you're going to put not here. Okay, not. So, A is pila. This is 10, greater than 5. So, okay, the result is what? This is true. Okay? True ang result. But since you have not here, okay, na kay not, therefore, yan ang i-reverse. So, what will happen? The result will become false. Okay? Because it is going to reverse the value. The same thing, if the result here is false, okay, reverse niya, that will become true. So, invert lang niya ang final result. Okay, that's the concept of not. Okay, so those are the different operators that you're going to encounter in the programming. So, what I'm going to do is, we're going to have an example. Okay, let's proceed with the example now sa programming. Okay? Okay, so thank you everyone for listening and have a nice day.